Do you remember growing up in the 1980s when everybody was afraid of robots? They were afraid that robots were going to replace jobs, robots were going to replace people, robots were the next big threat. Well, now the same thing is happening with AI. People are afraid that AI is going to take away jobs and that somehow AI is going to become sentient and AI is going to kill human beings. What's really fascinating to me is there aren't a lot of people talking about what happens when you marry AI with robotics. I don't know if that's because people just assume the two go hand in hand, or if it's because people are completely blind to the fact that the two technologies can go hand in hand. But what I have seen is that there's an absolute revolution happening right now in the hospitality industry with the marriage of robotics and AI. I've seen it myself as I've traveled the world. I've benefited from it as I make my own hotel reservations, as I see how I get treated as a premier member of many different hotels. I've also seen the benefits that it brings me as a user not to have to deal with people in the hospitality industry. Now, hold on a second. I understand that we all want to protect jobs for human beings, and I understand that we all believe that there's some sort of need for the human touch. But what I'm telling you is straight up, what I have seen is that there are so many areas in hospitality where human beings actually make it worse. I mean, think about it. How many times has your hotel experience been degraded because of human beings? A rude person at the front desk, somebody who puts in some sort of manual error. You specifically ask for a certain kind of room, but that room isn't available when you sign in. I'm sure you've had human beings make mistakes with your membership numbers. You've had human beings charge you too much or too little. You've had human beings who have been rude to you on the phone or avoided your phone call. We've all had it happen because that's the reality of hospitality. Hospitality often includes human beings that, simply put, are not that hospitable. So what a perfect industry to introduce robotics and AI together. And that's exactly what's happening. It's happening quietly, it's happening effectively, and it's happening in a way that you enjoy so much you don't even notice it. Let me give you a couple of examples. First of all, AI has already been rolled out in many major hotel chains that you've interacted with. I myself am very high in the status on Marriott. Marriott actually had to give me a legal notification to tell me that they were introducing and expanding their AI use in the hospitality sector. I already know there is AI behind my room service orders. There's AI behind my reservations. There's AI controlling the pricing and the price benefits. There's AI behind the chatbots that I'm talking to and that my assistant is talking to when my assistant books me hotel travel. There is AI already penetrating every point of intersection that you have online with your hotel reservations, from the moment that you search for a hotel all the way through to the moment that you check in. AI is touching all of it. They're making sure that Premier members get Premier services. They're custom shaping the recommendations for what you do in that city. They're triggering your emails. They're even changing the content within the emails that you're receiving before you show up to a hotel. I fall victim to this all the time, and I call it falling victim, but I actually like it. I oftentimes upgrade my room inside a hotel because some AI triggered an email to reach me 24 hours before I check in, offering me a deep discount on a room upgrade. And I love that. That's something no human being could ever actually do. I oftentimes have AI identify recommendations for me in hotel restaurants that I otherwise would have never known exist. And the AI already knows that I don't do dairy, I don't do cheese. It knows that I don't like spicy food for dinner. How useful is that? Honestly, this is stuff no human in any hospitality restaurant would ever be able to offer. So, do I hate the fact that AI is penetrating so deeply into hospitality? Not even close. Now, that's just the AI side of the equation. Let's talk about the robotics side of the equation. Now, I grew up a child of the 80s, and I remember watching after-school specials and even specials in school that were talking about the robotics revolution. I remember watching black and white TV clips, like many of you probably also watched, where they had human beings on an assembly line. And then I remember watching colored TV clips where robots were putting cars together in Japan and Korea. You saw this, I saw this, and and we watched how robotics started to move into the automotive industry. We watched how robotics moved into the canned food industry. We watched how robotics started moving their way into every industry that had to do with steel, metal, gold, mining, etc. We watched it happen when we were 10, when we were 15, when we were 20, when we were 25. And now, here we are, some of us in our late 30s, others in our early 50s, and robotics has integrated itself commonplace into our everyday life. Nobody's offended by robots making cars anymore. We're not offended that robots make shoes. We're not offended that robots put together machines and put together furniture. It's just commonplace. What we start to worry about now is when robots are built to look like us and stand in different businesses doing what human beings do. Whether that's robots standing like people behind a desk in a bank as a clerk or a teller, or standing behind a desk as a shopkeeper in a local shop, or standing behind a reservation desk in a hotel. But robots are starting to do that everywhere. And once again, I really do have to ask, is that such a bad thing? Let me give you two real quick examples, two stories of where I was traveling and had to intersect with hospitality and human beings. First, I was traveling through northern Idaho, a very small airport with a very small fleet of rental cars. And I had a rental car reservation at that location that I had made weeks in advance. But I was stuck in line behind another person who was having a lengthy and very friendly conversation with the representative for the rental car company. The problem was, the person having the conversation did not have a reservation, and the rental car company was totally sold out for the night. So I had a reservation, I had arrived late at night, I was waiting to get my car so I could go to my hotel, and I'm stuck here in a holding pattern behind this other person who's just chatting up the rental car rep. The two of them had a very human conversation, talking about where else the person could go to find rental cars, why they were sold out, what was so busy, what was happening in the city that week, what was going on with the global shortage of rental cars. This conversation went on, and then also turned into conversations about local recommendations of where they might be able to eat and local recommendations of hotels that might still have availability. Don't get me wrong, I understand that good hospitality, good service should be friendly. However, not at the cost of everybody else in line, but this is a very human trait, a human responsibility, a human desire to try to appease or avoid conflict with the person in front of you. For my second occasion, I was actually in Phoenix, Arizona, checking into a major hotel chain. And as I was checking in, a very similar thing happened. Somebody was talking to the front desk clerk, of which there was only one checking people in. Again, it was later in the evening because I was coming in on a late flight. I often have late flights. For those of you who travel for work professionally, you probably know how that feels. And I was stuck yet again, waiting to check in behind a person who was having an extended human conversation about the best bars, and a conversation about what to do at night, and a conversation about whether or not it's busy. There's always somebody who just wants to have a conversation with a human being. But too often, the traveler doesn't have enough social skill to start a conversation with a stranger, so they end up hijacking the hospitality person and having an extended conversation with them at the risk of delaying the success of everybody else in line. So for me, this happened once in northern Idaho. It happened to me once when I was in Phoenix, Arizona. And in both of those cases, I would have waited zero time had there been a robot checking me in instead. Because a robot's going to be pre-programmed with all the right responses. And that socially awkward person who's looking for a conversation isn't going to have a conversation with a robot. Now, if I sound harsh, it's because I am a little bit harsh. But if you are a business traveler, if you know the pain of being stuck behind some chatty Kathy who's having a conversation with a hospitality rep because they have no other friends, if you know what it's like to literally have more things to do in a day than you have time to complete, you don't want human beings in charge of hospitality. You want to reduce that time, because every time that you save in every step of the process is a minute that you get to use to turn into more money, or a minute that you get to invest in a phone call back home to your family, or something in between. That's why the marriage of AI and robotics into hospitality is such a powerful revolution for all of us, and not something that we should be afraid of, but something that we should be looking forward to. AI is already helping you in your hotel existence every day, whether you like it or not. Robotics are on the cutting edge of making their way into hospitality because there are companies out there testing, improving, moderating, and modulating how robotics can be integrated into your hotel. Just imagine checking into a Disney hotel where Donald Duck is the person that checks you in. That might sound cheesy to some people. My daughter would go ballistic for that. Are you kidding me? If I could check into a nice, clean, like fancy, modern-looking robot every time I check into my hotel in New York or LA, whenever I go to Chicago or whenever I go to Austin, to have some slick-looking, gold-trimmed robot that very quickly and snappily gets me in, and somebody who very quickly and snappily gets every other guest in too, so that I don't have to wait in line, I don't see that being a problem. Now, if you want to know what this looks like, if you've never heard of this interaction before, you've got to check out a company called Nightfood Holdings Incorporated. This is a company that's actually on the cutting edge of integrating AI and robotics technology together. I was researching them recently, and what I found was two awesome things. First, they actually have some really cool pictures of exactly what this looks like. So if you just look up Nightfood Holdings, you will find your way to some really interesting pictures where you see clean, sharp-looking robots literally standing behind the front desk of a hotel. You'll see them standing in the kitchen, actually doing work for food preparation, food delivery, food cleanliness, cleanup, and maintenance. There's some incredible stuff happening with robotics actually inside hospitality buildings and industries already. The second really cool thing that Nightfood Holdings is doing is they actually are buying hotels so that they can integrate their technology into the hotel, test the technology, fine-tune the technology, even expand the technology so they can find ways to further improve the hospitality experience. This is fascinating stuff, and I might never have discovered it had I not started asking the questions about what is happening where AI meets robotics and who's leading the charge in that area. Now, one last thing for you super nerds out there like me. Not only is it fascinating to think of AI-powered robots making their way into hospitality where they can serve us to the highest, most efficient level possible, but then there's the whole business model behind robotics. I never stopped to think about this until I started looking into Nightfood Holdings. And what I found is that this company is actually building a model for Robotics-as-a-Service, or what's known as RAAS. Now, I consider myself fairly well-traveled and experienced. I had no idea there was such an industry as Robotics-as-a-Service. Robotics-as-a-Service means one company builds the robot, programs the robot to do what the robot is supposed to do. And then another company rents the robot, pays a subscription fee for the robot, and then has the robot trained to do its own tasks. And then the robotics company gives the robot to the subscription rental company, and the robot works for the other company. The whole time that robot is earning money in terms of subscription fees for the primary company, but the company that rented the robot doesn't have any of the expenses of actually buying the hardware that makes the robot. They don't have any expenses that are tied to maintaining the robot or updating the robot or upgrading the robot or transporting the robot. They're literally just buying it as a service. The same way that you and I have software as a service for our businesses, the same way that you and I have all sorts of other services, whether it's landscapers or people who clean our house. It's all the benefits of having somebody else absorb the cost to build and program the robot while you just get to use the robot. How incredible. This is the future of technology. I can't wait to have some sort of AI-powered robot that helps me in my everyday life, whether it's as a personal assistant or a private driver or a grocery shopper or a private cook. I mean, unbelievable stuff is capable in this industry that I really didn't even know existed, and you may not have known existed either. Why am I talking about this? I'm talking about this because when you think about a future in a world where there are more people suing their bosses, more people suing their employers, more people claiming to get hurt, more people acting in fraudulent ways, human beings act like human beings. And frankly speaking, most human beings are scumbags. But there is a future where we can actually marry technologies that we developed in the 80s with brand new cutting-edge technologies of today to potentially create a world where all of our everyday needs are serviced better than what human beings could do. And I don't think that's Terminator stuff. I don't think that's end of days stuff. I don't think that's even bad for the economy. If we create opportunities for AI-driven robots to do better work than untrained humans can do, if we create an environment where AI-powered robots can do great work, that serves and advances humankind, I kind of feel like we should do that. I kind of feel like we shouldn't be holding technology back if it helps us. I understand all the arguments that people have for technology that just helps the rich get richer, but that's not what we're talking about here. Companies like Nightfood Holdings aren't just making rich people richer. They're making everyday people have easier lives. I can get behind that all day long. So if you are like me and you're kind of getting excited about the idea of an AI-powered robot that's custom tailored to fit your desires, your needs, your travel requirements, help make your life more efficient for your kids, for your wife, for yourself, for your parents, for your business, for your household, drop a comment below and let me know I'm not the only one thinking this is pretty cool shit. And I can't wait to tell you about more cool companies and more cool technology that I find as I keep my research going for the future. Catch you on the other side.